Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. It's Sunday, and so the Intercontinental Group of Awesome is playing. So named because we're awesome and we cross a couple of continents. We are continuing our winter phase of our series of Spire. And the best part is that I'm not the GM. Tyler is our gracious and loving GM, and I will hand it to you, sir. You are in charge.
Thank you very much. Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and indeed we're playing Spire by Brett Howitt and Christopher Taylor, and we are deep into this very long campaign that is moving towards its conclusion. And last time we had our crew on a mission to go and find someone who had been captured and placed in the Hive, which is the high security prison of Spire. Has been around for a very long time, and as they've looked at it, it is filled with kind of old Spire artifacts as well as a lot of human gadgets. And our crew came up with a cunning plan indeed to try and get in and find this prisoner. The hope is to get them and get them out, but there is the undercurrent of if they can't get them out, they must be silenced. And Gerald, you are Scabs. Jenkins is the terrible gentleman you met down at the in the cafeteria, who had achieved his position of climbing a ladder of broken bones. But our crew has split up. One is on a tour led by Gerald as the Lieutenant Scabs just mentioned, second in command of the Hive. And that has Vazar and Aramitz going through to write a story about Hive and its good works. And they had made it into the Panopticon, the central security area, and had noticed three drow there, kind of in a trance, watching multiple flashing screens that showed all of the Hive. And they'd seen a couple of times where they had kind of stopped and pointed out something, and a guard had gone to investigate it. Meanwhile, Sorden and Fanara and Golaset had gone in as plumbers and had worked their way up into the highest security areas at the top to try and fix the chairlets with the guard who had taken them. And he, with his weak tummy, had stayed outside as they had begun investigating inside of this guard's restroom, which was overflowing the chairlets with black goop of a horrible stench. And when we had ended off, and I believe I made a slight mistake, but we ended off with Fanara kind of moving around and checking to see if there were any cameras in here. I had told you that you and we had a bit of fallout for both Sorden and Fanara when they rolled, and back up at the down at the Panopticon, we had the people there center in one of the screens to say that they were doing some suspicious activity. And that's where we cliffhangered. But I had told you that no, you did not think there were any cameras here. But you had rolled a success with stress rather than a failure with stress. So yes, there are some sort of observational things inside of here. I had gone off the concept there rather foolishly that you had failed, but you did not. So you are aware that there is some sort of, while it's not like cameras, there is something in here that can have you be observed. Probably, though, not aware that that they have noticed you doing this looking around in here. You could probably play it off, but we'll see how that goes. Let's introduce our characters. and our players. Let's start at the center of our character keeper. We know him, we love him, but let's hear about that character, Rich.
Thank you, sir. I am playing Aramit's Fleck, who is normally a Lejan or priest of the Drow people, but now is posing in his best spy role yet as the assistant to our wonderful Shade-Rite, our inksmith. And so he has been able to minister to at least one prisoner, assure him that his lovely mother, Miriam in Derelictus, would receive no word that he is well. Other than that, Aramitz has been observing the horrors of the hive and trying to survive it while it breaks his heart.
Thank you very much. Next up, Jen. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your character?
Hello, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Funara Auvry, who also uses she, her pronouns. Funara is our business bastard of the game and is currently posing as a pro plumber. She's got the range, darling.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Next up, Sabine, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I play Vizar, he, him pronouns mostly. He is an inksmith, means he's a writer, reporter, stuff like that. He's made a bit of a reputation, I think, for himself with some reporting he did in the past, and thus he was welcomed into the hive as a reporter who would write nice things about it, which he's not truly planning, but well, you know, you say what people want to hear, and they'll do nice things for you, and that's the way he operates anyway. So,
no truer words ever spoken. Next up, Jan, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name is Jan. He, him pronouns. I'll be playing Zordin, the knight, also he, him pronouns. Excuse me. Zordin is also being a plumber. He is not good at being a plumber, but he can convince people that he is a good plumber now. Because he's good at bragging. So good that he can convince anyone that he can do anything.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, Alex, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use he, him, and I'm playing Gerald. He's the masked. He is the sneaky, disguise-wearing, identity-assuming character of the group. And he is currently Lieutenant Scab, who is taking the famous Vizar around the hive to help with the research.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I think we're going to stick with Vizar and Gerald and Aramitz up there or down there in the very center of the hive, in the controls there. As you see one of these kind of tranced drow that is working these controls, you see them pull up that screen showing Sword, Fanara, and Golaset, and you hear them, suspicious activity with maintenance crew. Yes, Vizar?
I wonder if I can, I don't know, cause some sort of disruption in the system. I mean, I've studied the technology. I know magic.
You
Maybe
can certainly try. What are you thinking of doing?
I mean, there is a control board here, right?
Mhm.
So I think if you push the right or wrong button because you're an enthusiastic reporter, right? And maybe this the message won't be sent out.
You do note that again, they seem to be with their hands on it, kind of melded to it. They're in that kind of trance state.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the impression that you would have to do something like that to get access to the controls. Now, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that it does mean that, you know, trying to get into the system might be getting into the system.
Okay, then I'll look up and I say to Lieutenant Scab, Lieutenant Scab, look, this looks like one of these control things. I wonder what happens if I put my hand on here.
Now, there's very complicated equipment, Mr. Shade Rider. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think my eyes will roll up, and I hope that Aramis will distract whoever is listening there.
I will try to help as best I can.
All right. So you lay your hands on it, and you feel kind of a little bit like you're falling into the console. It's got this weird disorienting feel to it. I would like for you to roll for me a, I suppose this is going to be fix plus technology.
Fix. I think, you know what? This thing will believe that I can fix. Really, it will, because I can convince myself that I can do fix. That's not a problem, right? Why would it be? Come on, of course I can do fix. This is
All
my
right.
thingy for today. And technology is said, right?
And technology, that's correct. And it sounds like Aramis is helping.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, how do I write my name? Is that the right way? Come on, Bizarre. No, it's with 2 Z's. Sorry. It confuses me all the time.
I mean, everyone knows Bizarre spelled with 2 Z's.
Yes, I know. It's Gerald who has bought one. What? I don't need an account. I want just to change my damn name. Sorry. I made a mess. No, I don't want to sign in. Come on. Ugh, I have to restart the dice roller.
That's fine. By the way, Rich, did I tell you at the end of last time, once we got off camera, for you to oh, you have no stress. That's what it was. Never mind.
No, you did not tell me, but now I have heard you.
Yes, because you did help someone who could not help themselves.
Indeed. Thank you.
But you're stressless.
I
You're
am
nothing
sans
but
stress.
you're
Stress
just
and I are not related right now.
no, just blowing to the breeze, enjoying life as it comes.
I have no mechanical stress, but I think this may be as much stressed as Aramis has been in quite a while.
4 Aramis.
All right, Bizarre, you have rolled and you have rolled a 9 twice.
Yep.
So I think that you managed to kind of control yourself, and your intent is to try and block where they're putting this security alert in. Is that right?
That would be nice, yeah, or cancel it or something.
I think that you feel yourself like getting in between, and you do manage to keep this from being broadcast to the relevant person. And while you're in here, you kind of begin these screens that have been blinking around. It slows in your mind. It's like you're processing, and you could see all these various parts of the hive. It is a little overwhelming because you've never done this before, but you're kind of holding it together at the moment. But we're going to shift over to Aramis and Gerald. You notice as Vazar does this, he sort of enters this sort of trance-like state like the others, except one of them kind of and turns around and is looking over at Vazar and then sees you, Lieutenant Scab. And Lieutenant, this person is interfering with our duty.
They've been given privileges of the whole site. Now, I want to talk to you about this Sergeant Jenkins. I've been getting some worrying reports. Can you go? I would like you to focus your attention on Jenkins.
Let's have you roll a, I guess this is going to be convince or deceive.
Let's see what I'm best at.
And order.
I've got order and I've got deceive. I'll roll those.
Or compel, I believe, was instead of convince.
So that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have any knacks with this. So. A 9.
He says, Lieutenant, this is quite unusual. As I said, this person.
Are you questioning my orders?
Of course not, Lieutenant. Sergeant Jenkins, you say?
Yeah, I expect a report by the end of the day. Detailed.
Yes, Lieutenant. I will begin looking into it immediately. You should handle. Kind of gives that side eye to.
I know my own business.
Very good, Lieutenant. And he sort of reaches back down and imprints back into the console there. Meanwhile, up in the restrooms, Fanara, you have given the place the look over, and you do have the sense that there are observation points in this place.
Well, that's not convenient. Ugh. And what does the actual problem here seem to be?
Let's have you find out.
All right.
Let's do either an investigate or a fix technology.
Yeah, let's go with investigate technology. Same difference,
Alrighty.
but you know.
It's help you, but honestly, I think it's dangerous for me to help with anything.
Just rest, relax. It's fine. It's fine. One for showing up, one for having skill, one for having the domain.
Mhm.
Roller. A 6.
Ooh, a 6. Well, let's have you roll a d6 for shadow.
All right.
See, this is why I didn't help.
It's a 6.
Ooh.
Unfucking believable.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost
Wait,
high as I
you
am.
did a good job? You can't possibly be our real plumber.
You begin looking into it, and kind of checking it out. You're pretty sure that there's some sort of backup further down in the lines. Considering where this mass is coming from, you would guess it is probably pretty far down. But having gotten over here to it, even with that salve on your nose, the smell is overwhelmingly horrible. And you become nauseous as fallout, but you can remove 3 stress.
Okay.
But until you get through with this nausea, you will be -1 die for physical tasks, as you are currently sort of gagging and trying to hold yourself back from upchucking. But you also notice there is an access in here that leads you into where the pipes and all that sort of stuff that you'd seen in the hallways. You see an access for where the plumbing comes into here.
That's useful.
Yep.
What would
Yeah.
you like to do?
I open up the access from this side, and then I'm like, yeah, I need some fresh air.
Okay.
And head into the hallway to gasp.
As you step out, you oh, I told you, it's absolutely terrible in there.
I was warned.
Sorden, the access is open in here. Goliset will have kind of gone over to the door and be keeping an eye on Fanara. But what are you doing?
I mean, I'm going to try and stick my head through the thing that Fanara just opening. Like,
Looking into this access area, you can see where it is, it's basically a Jeffries tube of Star Trek fame. It's a fairly narrow, but you could move through. It goes inside about 6 feet before it has a ladder going up and down, as well as continuing on. You see there are pipes that branch into this and are all along the top and down the sides and things like that.
right? I mean, well, I guess I'm probably gonna get like there's a moment where it's sort of like, should I go in? And like, then there's definitely a moment where he goes like, I have no clue where I'm fucking going. And then he sticks his head through the door like, Chief,
Yeah.
you good? Shall we go?
Yeah,
to go ahead.
let's get back into it.
And
I pat the guys. Actually, I don't actually rub my face because I'm still wearing gloves, but I pat the guard's shoulder with my messy gloves and say,
oh,
listen, it's gonna get a little worse before it gets better. You might hear some noises in there. That is just us doing operations on the pipes and valves. I think that the problem's further up.
oh dear. Well, whatever you need, just give me a call. I can take you there. Oh, and he's stripping off his jacket where you put your hand on it. Oh my goodness.
Oh, sorry about that.
We can follow the pipes along to where the blockage is, and we'll get there eventually.
Mhm.
Which it will be a mess.
Oh, well, I'm supposed to keep an eye on you, so
I mean, feel free to come along.
he kind of makes a move towards the door. They goes, oh, geez, no, just make sure you come back through here, right?
All right. If you got any buckets, though, big ones,
Oh,
bring them up here.
And you can see the horrified look on his face as y'all head back in. Are you gonna start entering? You gonna go into the access and start heading up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're here.
You start
It's like
heading.
we're probably both going like, oh, why did we get ourselves into this? But
The things we do for our people.
You
and the
begin
ministry.
heading up the ladder further up the Tower of Hive. Back at the Panopticon, Aramis, you've kind of observed Gerald, talking with the person there as they kind of move back in. Vazar is kind of inside the system. What are you doing?
Well, I tried to give a little bit of backup for Vazar, but it seems like he's in it now. So I guess further continue to distract. We've got the one that was discussing and told he has to do a report, or they have to do a report. So pretending to be the good assistant to the famous writer, I'll chat up whoever else is still part of the Panopticon as like, oh, this is just a little background, little bit of history. And like, even though it's a cover, Aramis wants to know from these people, like, do you live here? Where do you live? Like, what do you make selling out your people this way? That's not what he says, but that's what he wants to know.
Okay, you go over to one of them, and as you begin kind of talking to it, pulls him out of that sort of where he's been in the console and said, "Oh, sir, I
Yes.
well, no, I don't live here. I have a house out beyond, but I am paid quite well."
Oh, that's good. How did you come into this employ? How does one become a viewer like this?
Well, I started off as a guard, but you could take tests to work here. It's kind of a privileged position, you see, and the hive has to accept you to really get the benefits of doing this job. And you can see as he says that there's a little bit of a look at his face, like it passes over a moment of, you're not sure if it's fear, but it's definitely like a concern, a memory that has popped up that is unpleasant.
Hmm. What is it really like communicating with the hive, seeing what it shows you?
I've never experienced anything like it before I started. I'd heard rumors that it's almost like it's a living thing, and now that I've joined to do my job, it does kind of almost feel like it talks to you occasionally. It notices things and it points them out to you, and of course, I mean, it kind of motions up towards the screen. You could see everything. But I dream about it when I go home. I could sort of feel it even when I'm away.
I see.
You're here doing a story?
Yes. I am here. I'm sorry. We are doing a story. Vizar is the writer. I'm merely his assistant.
He really shouldn't be messing with the consoles like that.
Oh?
I mean, it can be very dangerous, especially if, well, the hive doesn't accept him.
You said that you were part of a group. What were you told? What about your personality made you a likely worker who would be accepted by the hive?
Well, we take several tests, and they see those who have the best chances. I was told it's because I'm good at taking orders.
I see. In Aramis's head, oh crap. That's the opposite of bizarre.
But it part of it is kind of opening yourself up to let the hive direct you.
And the hive just wants to keep the prisoners inside. It doesn't care who the prisoners are.
Not that I don't think so. I mean, it's not like it really says what it wants. It's more like you feel it, and yeah, it doesn't like anybody getting out.
But if, say, another species were placed in here, it would strive to keep them in as well.
Oh yeah, we have humans, and there a few of the gnolls have been put in, and it doesn't care. Once you're locked in, It don't like unlock it.
Has anyone ever been freed from the hive?
You see him kind of. Well, I'm sure some people serve their sentence. And yeah. I mean, people occasionally they serve their time, and
Is he
but
lying?
he's not lying, but he's
Okay.
holding back a little something. Do you try and wheedle it out of him?
Yeah.
I'll let you roll either compel or pursue.
Oh my. Mm-hmm.
And plus order.
Oh, darn. I think I'll go compel. Which I just recently got, so that's pretty exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So 2 dice.
2 dice for poor Aramis, who has no order. What does that say? Huh? A 5 is my best.
Ooh. Roll me a D3 for stress. This is going to go against your reputation.
Okay. D3, you say?
Yes. As he says, yeah, I mean, of course, people, I'm sure, anybody who served their time, they're accepted right back into society. I'm sure that it's fine for them.
That's 3, of course.
You have 3, so
I know
still
I have no more protection for my reputation.
But as he kind of tosses this off, you something in you says though there's something he's not told you. But he says, I'm sorry, I really I gotta get back to work.
Of course. No interest in interrupting your important work. Just trying to make sure that we get the best possible story. Thank you for your help.
Of course. Hey, I could kind of show you. Look up, and he places his hands on there and kind of slides into that trance. And as he does, he pops up onto the screen. The screen's there, and you see like where you are here in the Panopticon, and then it pops around a couple of places that like where you were. You see the hallway you came down, you see the dining room that you were in, you see the gate where y'all entered, and he kind of pulls up. See, it keeps up with where everywhere you've gone. I saw you the whole time coming through, for the most part. I mean, it's not everywhere. With that, he smiles and says, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. And then I don't want to force you to come up with a name off the, but Aramis would want, well, let me get your name so we can make sure you're featured in the story as one of our spotlights.
Oh, certainly. Todd Devon.
Thank you, Tom.
And so, Vasar, you are inside of this thing. You kind of stopped that alert from going out, and you felt kind of the pressure of the alert after you stopped it kind of alleviate. I don't know if you're fully aware that the person that was sending it got a dressing down around you. You are really engrossed in like seeing all the scenes of it.
If I were a cautious person now, I would watch the Panopticon and what's going on there and listen maybe to get pointers, or I would watch out for Fanara and Zordon, but I'm not a cautious person. And this is very interesting. This is, I mean, this is ancient technology. This is a story here. And I think I would be remiss in my duty to the truth as a reporter if I wouldn't follow it. Right, Gerald? Yes, I know. Thank you. And on I go and try to figure out what I can figure out about this thing. Maybe contact it, maybe it's intelligence, maybe you can speak to it.
All right. So you're just trying, at the moment, you're trying to kind of sense what the system is. Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to do?
Yeah, I think I'm investigating. That seems like a good use of my time here.
Okay.
Just try to figure out what it is, maybe say hi.
You feel a presence that, in a lot of ways, it's like you're not recognized. What are you doing here? Who are you? Sort of thing that is pressing at you. And it is very much wanting to kind of bring you in, sublimate you kind of into the system.
Okay. This is,
Could you roll me a resist plus order?
See, these are things I don't have. Let me check my I don't think I can use a knockout punch on it, right? I've already used that one. That is not very useful at all. I could try to go with the trust me though. I mean, I could try to get this thing to just trust me because, you know, I've got an honest face. I've got an honest mind. No, I don't, but
I think that first we're going to have to get through
Okay.
that resist.
oh, okay. Well, that means I don't have
You have your base die.
I have my base die. Yeah, I've got a base die. So yeah, that seems like a good idea.
You do feel like you could pull your hands off if you wanted.
Come on. Who are you talking to?
Ah,
My internal
I-
Gerald would never allow me to do such a thing.
I see. Dear Prudence.
Rolling. I've rolled a 3. So it could have been worse.
Well, it could have been a
Failure.
little worse.
Yeah, it's a failure and I'm taking stress.
You are. Roll me a d6 and it's going
Okay.
against your mind.
Of course it is. And it's a 5, so it's 3. It's a D3, right? You said D3.
D6.
D6. Oh, that is a 5.
Mm,
Oh,
okay.
here I go.
Let's see here. And we're going to take a little fallout.
Okay, but that means I can reduce my stress by 3, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And I think we're going to give you a shaken here.
Okay.
As you feel this thing sort of like pulling you in. You feel this kind of difficulty with remembering exactly who you are. You're having to really focus on, I know I'm bizarre. I'm not part of this. And so you won't be able to use any domains until you get out of this shaken state.
Okay.
Gerald, I think you will notice because the screens in front of Vazar had kind of been flashing about. But now you note that they've settled on some images. And they're showing, like they are showing inside here in the Panopticon. They're also showing like some of the places y'all had been. Also, strangely enough, you see that one of them has centered on the bathroom where you see Sordin and Fanara are no longer in, but there's an access tunnel open. and the way that they walked up as well.
I'm definitely taking notes of where they've gone.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
Does Vizar seem like, is there any outward emotion, or is it just
Very
like-
deep in the trance, fully engrossed into the trance at the moment.
Viewer, can he hear me? I just nudge one of them. Let's maybe
Okay.
in the trance themselves.
Well,
We do have more rooms to see, more facilities.
You could, like you just did me, you could kind of nudge them out if you wanted to. Usually, I mean, Lieutenant, you know your business better than me, but we don't usually let civilians mess with the consoles. I mean, is the warden
we
approve
discussed
this?
this already?
Oh, I thought you got a different guy this time.
I think I'd be bullying the same one.
All right, he's like,
Yeah.
you can nudge him out like you did me. I mean, 10 to 1, the hive's probably trying to woogie. I mean, you know what happens when someone fails to get accepted.
Yeah, yes. Well, didn't I give you a task?
I've been working on it, Lieutenant.
I don't like that tone.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant. Will have the report on your desk.
Carry on. I rest a hand. I wait till he's gone back in, and then I rest.
And you can see Jenkins popping up on screens as he's checking through stuff. And I'm going to, before you get to act, I'm going to let you, Vizar, roll your attempt to convince here. Now, considering where your mental state is, what are you wanting to convince this thing of? You are muted, my love.
Yes, I want to convince this thing to unmute me. No, I want to convince this thing that it wants my adoration. that I am an admirer. That it wants my worship. That's what I'm trying to convince it.
Oh my!
Yeah.
It wants you to admire it. That's what it. Yeah. Okay.
That's what it wants, and I admire it deeply.
All right.
I want to use the sea for this.
Makes sense. And your flattery.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like you're rolling 3 dice. I think that this is enough of something it likes that I'm not going to put a difficulty on it.
Nice. Thank you. Okay, let's see how that goes. It's a 10 and a 9.
Good. Very good. And so we'll come to what that does as we shift off to our 2 in the Jeffries tubes. But you've climbed your way up. Now, Banara, I think it is probably with your technical knowledge here, you're able to kind of following these things and seeing, what, because they have like some writing that's on these pipes and things where they've, labeled stuff off. Where are you trying to get to?
Trying to see how close I can get to Geb, frankly.
Okay. Figuring that they're in the highest security area, you begin climbing on up, continuing on up, and you reach the highest level of security area. You can figure he is going to be in this area. And as you get up to there, you could see that there are splits in where all the pipes and all are going. And as you approach, remember where I was talking about like panels would light up, like they would notice people getting near them? You see one of these panels kind of light up as you approach it. Looks to be, it's got like a pad on it and, where you could type things in. Looks like an access panel to basically the tech of what's in here.
Hold up. I'm going to inspect this device.
All right. Sounds like an investigate technology.
All right. An 8.
Ooh, very good. Very good. Take no stress. Giving it the look over, it gives you control of like the things that are like the power and the sewage and the environmental controls for this level and levels above. Primarily used for stuff like if you had to, say, if you were really a plumber and you needed to shut off the valve to be able to work on something, this would be the place to do it. But it might, if you worked it properly, be able to tell you, more of what is on this level.
Nice. Well, I do shut off some of the valves.
Okay.
If only for appearance's sake. And yeah, I investigate what's on the levels.
Okay, you have already done a successful investigate. So looking for Geb, I think that you're able to figure out which cell Geb is in through this thing. It would be, it is on the level you're on, would be down the hallway once you leave the access panel, leave the Jeffries tube here.
Right.
You can only guess there are guards out there, though. I mean, plus everything else.
Or I'll, point a few things out on the screen to Sword and say, I think Geb's right there.
I'm happy that you can figure it out.
Sorden.
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to show off. I am trying to include you in the operational decision that we must make with this knowledge.
I'm happy that you're pointing it out to me because I couldn't figure it out by myself.
Okay.
So
we're all a team working together for a reason, but I trust your expertise on the best way to set ourselves up for success if we meet any guards. And by success, I mean the guards die and we don't. Which I don't need to tell you because you understand fighting so much better than I do.
Yes. Like best if we could drill them in somehow, that'd be ideal.
I also still have these, and I brandish a flashbang disguised as a plumbing implement.
Yeah.
But I think that that's more something we should use in an emergency once everything else has gone wrong.
Like if we can just convince them that they need to come inside, like if we how far can we get?
We can get about this far.
Right.
The access panel opens up here. seems relatively simple to say that, you know, we need their
This-
help, perhaps with this very console, in order to fix the plumbing issues.
Ah, right. Because I was thinking like maybe we could just convince them of like, you know, a bit of a riot that they need to subdue.
That seems like something they'll be able to confirm is untrue very quickly.
Well, I mean, we could in fact create a bit of a riot though.
I mean, boop, boop, boop on console. I can always make sure that the blockage discharges here in this populated space by closing these valves.
That will create that, yeah. See?
In a past life, I was surely a goblin. So I start doing that.
All right.
And I think we should take a bio break real quick.
I tend to agree. So, all right. Fenara, as you a few moments later, we begin to hear and noises from outside of your little Jeffrey's tube space, and we begin to hear some what's going on in there. Holy shit, what is that? That terrible smell. And we hear like this uproar going on outside the access panel of the Jeffrey's tubes. Inside of the Panopticon, Aramis and Gerald, the two of you notice the screens begin to all start, you know, click, click, and sitting standard onto a general area as the three people in trances maintenance issues in cell block 3, maintenance issues in cell block 4, maintenance issues, cell block 6, high priority areas. We need, we're receiving reports of, receiving reports of toxic situation in high security cell blocks 1 through 7. Vizar, you, on the other hand, are getting this feeling of someone wanting to impress you. You know, that sort of feeling of someone say, hey, look at what I can do. As you begin seeing like images of the warden's office, the surrounding grounds, in the cells. And this is where I'm going to hit you with a little something, though.
Oh.
You begin to see images of, hang on, let me check something first. Nope, I'm good. You see a couple of chambers where there are drow in machines with people around it. They appear to be in absolute agony as the people around them are demanding answers. These are clearly torture chambers. You know, these flashes of the deep, intimate things going on in the Spire as this presence is saying, you know, giving you the impression of, look what's going on. Look what's happening here within. I need you to roll resist.
Again, with the resist.
I know.
Damn, I know I should have taken it, but
You know, you can't have them all, or it would be
I wanted
fun.
technology. It's fun. It's fine. It's probably fine.
Resist plus I will let you deal with either order.
I can't. I am
or-
shaken.
Oh,
I'm
you're
shaken.
still.
I'm shaken. I
Yes.
can't. So I go with my one beloved die.
One beloved die.
And let's see how that shakes out.
And it's going against mine.
Of course it is. That's a 6. So it's
a success.
but I'm
You-
taking stress.
You are. Roll me a d6 to mind.
Oh no.
But you hold it together. You don't let, I mean, what would have basically been utter disgust and anger overwhelm this,
Three.
this deceit you're projecting out.
Mhm.
So 3 to mind.
Mhm.
Roll
Go
real
again.
quick. I don't know if that did it roll. Oh, there we go. Okay. You don't take fallout this time around. As you hold on to the convincing of this. We're gonna come back to you in a moment, though. I think you're gonna have some opportunities for some stuff here in just a
Oh,
second.
yeah. I want to have these.
As Gerald and Aramitz looking at this, seeing the people in trances kind of going on about these problems, what are the two of you doing?
I think
You also both feel pretty confident that these people in trances just aren't here. You can pretty well talk without worrying about them hearing you.
Following your lead here, Gerald.
Well, it seems Finara and Zordon have a plan. Chaos. Do we follow the lead?
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Okay, how many viewers are there in this room?
There are dozens upon dozens. Oh, or do you mean the panels to get into?
Well, I meant more like, the people who are viewing.
Oh, 3.
Everything.
There's only 3.
Only 3 people doing
Right. Well, and bizarre.
Yeah. We should have time to take out the third. If you take that one and I take that.
Yes.
I'm not going to make either of you roll to. Are you killing them, knocking them out?
Aramis was playing on choking this person out. If he sees Gerald like stab the guy, he'll be like,
No, I'm going in for the choke. I
All
feel
right.
like pulling him away from touching the thing, and then kind of doing the choke, because
the two of you grab hold, and as they pull away, you've already got them fully, around the throat and choke them out as they sort of struggle weakly and gurgle as, they can't scream. Very well done. I'm not making a roll for that. But the third one, who I think is probably the one that you talk to, Aramitz, kind of, you see the screen, one of them focus into the panopticon as he says, security breach in the panopticon, and pull away from the console as he turns. What are you doing?
and I'll say, the hive is controlling me, and then attack him.
I will make you roll for this one.
It's a terrible one, but yeah, I think rolling for that seems appropriate.
Gerald is just going to be like, let's see what happens here.
All right, Aramitz, I think this is fight.
Yeah, suck at that. I do not have that.
And order?
Not low society? Come on, it's a cheap trick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's right. It's you doing it. So I'll give low society on that.
All right. Then 1 for doing it, 1 for low society.
Are you helping Gerald? It sounded like you were just observing.
Lieutenant Scab would like deserting your post. I don't know, something.
you kind of looks over.
Yeah.
All right, 3 dice, Aramitz.
Here we go.
This is going against blood and armor.
Fair. That is 6 is the best I've rolled, which ain't great.
It is a success, however.
I do take stress. That
You
is a
will,
success cost.
as
Oh.
yes,
And I guess I do as well.
you will, because you helped out. As you rush
Wow.
towards him, he reaches quickly and pulls out a pistol and fires as you slam into him. I think you're going to knock him out. However, the bullet is going to ricochet around in here, hitting both of you.
That's crazy. I love it.
And is going to do, if you would both roll, D6 blood armor. And we have sparks and all of that going around as this bullet careens around, grazing off of each of you.
I would like to add fiction that Gerald tries to block the ricocheting bullets from hitting Vizar, which is probably why.
I think that
Aw,
makes perfect sense.
that's showing off too. If only
Which
Bizarre
is-
could see it.
And he was rewarded with only 1.
How did you do, Rich?
A 1.
I guess the bullet was mostly spent as it ricocheted around the room. And the guy that you attack, what's it look like? Do you punch him? How do you take him out?
He's in a chair, so I think he like leaned out, whips out the gun, and I just rush forward. The gun goes off and does its ricochet magic bullet stuff, and Aramis slams his head into the ground. I imagine it's like metal plating for the hive. Slams his head down, and then one more time, and stops, just panting, kind of wild-eyed, like I can't believe I just did that thing moment.
The guy slumps out of the chair, falling to the ground. The screens are flashing, and you hear a voice outside the door go, "What's going on?" Because if you remember, there was a guard at the door, and you see the doorknob turning as I switch over to the two upstairs. You hear this craziness going on out in the hallway beyond the tube. Sorton, Fedara, what y'all doing? You have a moment, and you have a feeling that here in the Jeffrey tubes, one of the few places you're not observed.
I give Sorton this this terrible childlike grin.
Yes. So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the joys that I can. Going to be of less use until I purge myself or get at least a couple hours of fresh air. So
Should we try to get out and do something now?
now is about the time.
Yeah.
Things are at their peak before people start to understand what's going on. Let's go.
You push open the access and head out into the hallway. Looking into the hallway, first thing you notice is like black sludgy bits coming out from underneath doors into the hallway. You see two guards in the hallway who have kind of looked through or opening up the little slidey windows into these cells and shut up! Somebody will be up here, be quiet! As they're yelling. But both of them will turn as the access opens. What? Are you the plumbers?
It's a disaster in there. I think we need
It's
a
a
few
disaster out here.
more. Oh no.
You
And
gotta stop this.
This is not looking good.
We need a few extra pairs of hands.
Come help.
Both of them will begin moving over. You see, they are heavily armed. They have like a club off their side. They also have a pistol in a like shoulder holster type thing. It is clipped off, so it's not easily accessible. So prisoners won't be able to grab it from them. But unusually enough, they do have a pistol with them.
Yeah.
And both of them are rushing up, slosh through the mess. The smell is horrible. Fenara, I don't think you can help yourself. I think you do. Yak a bit as the two of them come over and oh miss, and they're right there at you, Zordon.
And I gesture to Golset while I'm barfing.
Get them. All right.
Yeah.
Zordon.
I like. Can we just like push them inside and?
Absolutely, you could. Yes, you know, like grab them and pull. You know, get them inside the tube. Are you going in with them?
I mean that leaves Fenara quite.
Looked over by Golset.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? I can take care of them. Yeah.
All right, you get them, you know, like pull them, you know, here, come on, and get them inside the tubes, and then you're going to try and dispatch them?
Yeah.
All right. You have as a weapon at least a wrench.
Yes, I have a wrench. That's it.
They are unsuspecting. However, there are two of them.
Yes. So the first one will be unsuspecting, the second one less so.
I think I'm going to do this, though, as a big overall, the both of them sort of roll.
Fair.
So it's going to be a difficulty of 1 rather than 2, where it would be if they were suspecting something.
Yeah.
Fight and order or low society, either one would
either
work.
is fine, yeah. But so I am down to 2 because they're
Yep.
yeah. And let's
Now I will say, Fenara, if you wish to have Golset assisting, you could use that as a help action. It would just, I think for this, it would put Golset at danger.
Yeah.
All right, you're back up to 3 dice.
awesome. Let's see. Oh, for 6.
6 is your highest?
Uh-huh.
Roll me a d6.
Okay, I will. That's a 1.
Lucky you, but you're going to take fallout as you take 1 point of blood armor stress.
You know
Use
what?
it. Use it.
I'm not going to take fallout because I'm at 10, and honestly, no, actually 11 because I guess I'm taking blood and armor stress.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that brings that up to 40. Like that brings my total stress up to 11, and I don't want to take it right now. That's gonna be bad.
I agree. You
So
managed
I
to
think
handle
that
that.
the lovely goddesses will watch over me and take care of this fallout for me for this session.
Absolutely. I think as they swing at you, you feel that red fury sort of building up in you, and like a whirlwind you are. One of them does kick backwards as he is kind of going unconscious. Actually, I think you killed them, sort of. Does that, that bother you?
Totally,
Okay.
no, that is totally fair.
Yeah, I think in this red fury, they're both battered horribly with the wrench. We probably get like the blood spatter on the Jeffrey tube. But one of them kicks out into Golset's knee as he goes, ah! And Fenara, for right now, he probably has busted his kneecap. He's going to have some trouble moving.
Okay.
But the way is clear. Well, I mean, it's not clear. It's full of sewage, but it is guardless heading towards Gimmett.
I go to that door and I
rush
get
over.
Yep. get to opening things up.
All right. Bazaar. You, as the presence has been trying to impress you, something changes. You can sense the presence is disturbed, is bothered. And it begins showing you images of, like, the hallway where you see Finara running over towards a door.
Oh,
You
wow.
see the last kicking foot out of a Jeffrey's tube of a guard who's getting his skull cracked in.
I will attempt to convince the hive to show me that this is all present shenanigans. That is nothing. That is nothing to the glory of the hive, which is hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And I want to see what it really is when it began. Who created it? This is nothing. This is just, come on. These little people, their little troubles, they can't even comprehend its glory, right?
I think this seems more like compelled than deceived, though.
Think? Okay. Yeah.
You're not lying to it.
I'm not lying. No, I'm not. It's
So,
true.
2 dice.
2 dice. Yeah, I'm living on the edge, baby. And I am actually truly fascinated with that. So I'm really not lying. I want to see that.
Okay. Roll her up.
I'm rolling. I've got a 5. No, this is terrible. No, I think it gets what I'm trying to do here. I'm sorry, Finara. I tried.
I would like for you to roll 6 against Shadow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh. Can't type anymore. It's a 2. Yeah. So that's not. It's not. I'm not Finara. I'm this guy.
Yes. So 2 to Shadow, and you feel the presence. So you're not safe, but get this impression of, no, I can't let things escape. Things belong to me. Cannot go. You're distracting me, sort of feel. And inside of all of Hive, an alarm begins to sound.
I can do nothing to stop that, right?
No, it is the fallout of what you just rolled.
Okay. Can I try to overload it though by pointing out other places where if it's really interested in this, look at that one and this thing and that over here. Like desperate times, desperate measures, right? And I have, you know what I do have though, wait, did I convince it to trust me against its better judgment though?
Have you done that? Are you asking?
Yeah. Did I do that? Because if I did, then I gain a temporary bond and I would try to use that.
I think you did. Yes.
I would try to use that because, hey, friend, I'm here. I'm the only one who really wants to talk to you, my hive.
All right.
Everybody else is not really interested in you, but just want to use you. But I want to, we're basically brothers.
Then. And I think this is a full 3 dice on the bond because it is definitely its place of power, or neighborhood, and its point of power.
Okay. Cross your fingers, please. Yeah, there's the 10.
Ooh.
You me. We're basically, in a weird way, we are the same.
You do realize that we're the same as the speech that often villains give to heroes, right? Just pointing that,
It's
that out. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yes, I am aware. I write these novel things, so yes, I am aware. You think I'm the hero or what?
All right. I think just for my benefit, I'm gonna trigger your unlock
Yeah, do
and
that.
get rid of the 10 to take it down
Yeah.
to an 8.
It's an 8 though, still a success.
Yeah, still a success.
And I get rid of my handbag curse, so that's
You too.
worth something.
As you begin just pushing it to look at other things, but we're not getting that full overload. We're getting it's distracted a bit, but we're definitely still have the alarm going.
Mhm,
We
that's
still have
fine.
all of that.
Yeah, okay.
Arabits, Cheryl,
But it has an effect, right?
it does have its effect. Yeah, you still
Cool.
got a success. You just didn't get the
Yeah.
full big 10. All right, Cheryl, Aramis. Shit's gone down. Guy is opening the door.
It's about time you got it here. Well, come in.
He opens the door. You see he's got his pistol out. He
I think while
looks around.
when he's looking around, I'm sharing like a kind of slightly like panicked look with Aramis for a second.
Oh crap. Ever thought you had a plan. Okay.
He says, "What the hell?" And he points the gun at you, Aramis, because you're the only one who's moving who is not a guard.
You think this one is cool? Put that good soul gun down. God.
Oh, that sounds like a compel plus order to me.
Yeah. I do have compel and I have order.
Are you helping Aramis?
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
look
something
like
happened.
somebody
The
who shouldn't
hive
have
is going
gun.
crazy.
Yeah.
The hive
So
has
I get
lost its
4?
mind.
4 dice.
A 9. 2 9s.
He kind of lowers the gun down and like, what the? I heard a gunshot, and he kind of is moving over towards Vazar, since this is a civilian touching the path. Is it this guy? What'd he do, Lieutenant?
I walk out. I'm like hand on the kind of the tip of the pistol to point it away from Bizarre.
He's
like,
lowered. Yeah, he's lowered it down. You got.
I mean,
your
isn't it
success.
obvious? And I gesture towards the one who's like bloody on the floor from Aramis' treatment.
No, sir. This is nothing here is obvious. This looks like complete chaos.
Well, clearly, this viewer was overloaded and went mad, drew a pistol, and I like point at my own wound.
Oh, all right. Well, holy cow.
I don't even know if the equipment is, if the hive itself has been damaged. I mean, that ricocheted around, and I just draws Aramis. I mean, you saw it been bouncing off the walls.
Pure madness.
Guy
Something has happened.
moves over towards the person you pointed out. He sort of bends down to check on him, and you see like reaching for a set of. I probably should take him into.
I mean,
this
you
never
should.
happened.
We need to find out what happened with this. We can't have this happening every day.
This doesn't happen every day, does it?
Oh, civilian. Calm yourself.
Sorry.
Got this
Sorry.
under control, haven't
This
we?
won't go in the story. Of course not.
Guy bends down and puts cuffs on the guy bleeding down there, and he's like, I better call for some more guards. He stands up and begins moving out the door to call in some reinforcements.
I'm like, sigh. I'm just gonna walk over and just, as he's like maybe in the doorway, just head on the side of the head and just smack it into the doorway edge.
I think he is surprised sufficiently that you will succeed
It's
in
a brutal
battering
tag
him.
as well.
Oh,
Awesome. I think that's, I don't know what the brutal thing does, but that's something I got from something.
It lets
When I
you roll
surprise.
twice to do damage on him, and he sort of and collapses down unconscious. Fanara, you have gotten to the door of Gib, and looking in through the slot, you see a man clearly battered. He is kind of gotten up on top of his bunk. You're not sure if he got up there because of the sludge that's all over the floor or that's where he's been, but he's all huddled in. He's bruised and battered. What you do?
I mean, is it exotic or difficult to open the door?
I think that it is no real problem, especially since Zord's probably coming back out. Golaset will reach down
Covered in blood.
and
Yeah.
throw you a set of keys.
Absolutely. And I'm like, grab the pistols. And I open things up. And I do so gently, but without dawdling, and presuming that there's video recording going on. Video recording. I do not make any particular hand signal or anything, but I use like a code phrase of some kind.
He looks up at you. I said nothing.
Not even any insults.
Wouldn't give them the satisfaction.
It's best to keep it all for yourself. Come on.
You should eliminate me.
But you said nothing.
He kind of uncurls from the bed and steps down. You could see he has no shoes. He's in sort of rags as he moves painfully towards you.
I don't have much to offer him, but I do give him like a workman's apron of some kind and one of the flashbang grenades with a caution of, only if there's nothing else that can be done.
Can he walk? Or do I need to carry him?
He's stumbling along. To be honest with you, Golaset is really having a lot of trouble walking. I don't know if you need to carry him, but he could probably use support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And once I notice that Golo is limping like that, I'll see if I can't at least bind up his leg.
You could see that that boot probably shattered his kneecap. He says, "Mistress, you should hurry on. I'll find another way out."
The hell you will.
Absolutely not. You're going to take a bandaging and you're going to lean on my shoulder and we're going to make it through this.
And if you're not doing that, I'm just slinging you across my shoulder.
He gives you a look. Very well, mistress. Geb says, "Do you have a way for us to get out?"
And I'll open up the panel again and say, "File in."
He looks and with gusto starts moving in, and you see as he enters, he looks at the two bodies that are there and spits on them as he passes. So I think we're going to do a group action of y'all heading out the Jeffries tubes. So, which of you wishes to lead pursue plus order or technology?
I could do pursue plus order.
I think Sorden's the better lead here, especially since I am still nauseated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy
Damn.
to assist.
I am short of breath, but
Can I help as well? I mean, I'm not there bodily, but
Yes.
But you're there.
but I'm
Yeah.
In
there.
spirit.
I will say yes, you may help. So, Sorden, rolling sounds like with the 4 dice.
all right. Let's remove that d6 that's there. Boom. Come on. Give me something good. A 9 or 2 9s even, but it was about time that I rolled something decent. Come on.
Your group heads down through the Jeffries tubes and are making your way to the ground level and to a point of escape. Sorden. Oh no, I think now it's going to be you, Vazar. The presence is, in part trying to show you things you want, is also has shown you these people escaping with this prisoner. Airments, Gerald, I think you also will see the screens kind of several of them light up with this image of them escaping with this person. But Vazar, you feel the just overwhelming sense of cannot let someone escape, cannot let someone escape.
Okay.
And that seems to be directed not only at the prisoner, but also at the new friend it's made.
Oh. I wonder, does it have a reset button? Probably not. No. Okay.
No.
Okay, then. I think, though, the next logical step, and I haven't used that today, would be that it has some sort of phrase that would at least make it pause temporarily. I just have to find it. Does that make sense? Is
That just makes sense.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
happen in a pulp novel, right? It would, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. I think I can go with the. I'll ask the rest of the group. Does it seem likely that there is a means of kind of giving it that momentary overload or
It
pause?
seems very the day the earth stood still. I like it.
Some kind of protocol for either a greater Spire-wide emergency or like a monarch is visiting.
yeah.
Mm.
I like the Spire-wide emergency. I mean,
All right. Then yes, I think that you managed to get this moment where it's incurring. Okay, there's a massive Spire problem. I have to deal with that. I'm going to give you an option here. You can make a roll, and it will hit the protocol of opening all the cells.
ooh.
Because Spire-wide problem have to release so that they can be transported to wherever they need to go, be put into a central holding area. However, to do so, you will have to roll. And in this case, I think it's going to be a deceive.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead and tell you, you'll be looking at a D10 mind stress if you take stress.
Okay.
As it will try to sink its claws into your brains.
Okay. Okay. What's the alternative? You said you've given me options here.
You can leave all those cell doors closed and get the fuck out.
What? No, come on. You knew that I would want to roll, right?
That was never an option.
I mean, it's a pretty good option.
Is it? Is it? Okay. Can I use flattery though? Can I flatter it into?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. It doesn't make any sense. So you're rolling with 2 dice here, right?
Correct.
Wow. Okay. See if I get this. It's a 6, so I take a D10 stress, but I succeed.
You do indeed. Roll me a D10.
Okay, so now D10s. Remember all these lovely ones you rolled, right? And roll something nice. It's a 6, so yeah, it's not great.
Mind.
It's not great. I'm taking fallout.
Oh yeah, you are. And 6 would be moderate. All right.
It's I'm at 12 total.
Right, but it's based off
okay.
the last one you
okay.
took for the
Cool.
fallout.
Great, I love that.
And I think for our purposes, I'll tell you the fallout in a moment, but for our purposes, Bizarre slumps and falls away from the console and collapses to the floor. Bizarre and Aramitz. You can get rid of 6 stress, though, Bizarre.
Nice. And what's the? Oh, you'll tell me.
I will tell you in a moment.
Fallout in a moment. Okay, I'm okay.
Aramitz, what do you do as you see Bizarre fall? Gerald might not have noticed immediately because he's bashing a guard's head against a wall.
Who knows what number guard we're up to now without unconscious.
Running out of room in here.
It's like stacking them up like cord. Of course, I wait for a moment to make sure, is Gerald clear of the guard? Then I'll run into attempt to give succor to Vizar. Vizar, wake, we must go.
Vizar seems out for the moment.
Then I will quickly shift and lift Vizar up over my shoulders, probably like definitely not press this, maybe just like over the back. Like I think that is how Aramitz would do it. Like you're a sack of potatoes, but you know, a sack of potatoes this well read.
And so I ask Aramitz, Gerald, shit seems to be going down. You saw Geb has been snatched. Do y'all have anything else you'd like to do here?
We are leaving. We are leaving now.
Yes, we must go.
We got an injured VIP. We've got an injured VIP here. Make way.
You begin heading out through. The alarms are going off. We can now hear guards kind of in an uproar, and there's the sound of fighting going on in various places around you as the cell doors have opened and the prisoners are trying to take out their fury on the guards and maybe trying to run. At the same time, the alarm inside of Hive has changed in tone and seems more desperate and almost angry in the alarm sound, as though things are being taken from it. And the lights along the hallways are this bright red and flashing. I would like to ask of the 2 of you, Gerald and Aramitz, one of you should take lead on a getting out of here, which will be a pursue plus either order or crime because of what you're doing, or technology.
I can do a domain. I can't do a skill in a domain.
Yeah, I have pursue, and I am the hunter. And since we both just are having one die, I think if it's okay, Aramis would take the lead.
Would you
Yeah.
like to help, Gerald?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're giving the orders to get people out of your way.
Yeah,
Sounds
I'm
like
clearing the.
3 dice for you, Aramis.
All right. 3 dice to get the hell out of here. Or try to. I don't know if one roll will do it. Ah, 6
That's a success.
with stress. Hit
With
me.
stress, roll me a d6, and it is going to go, I think, for the 2 of you on blood and armor because of all the fighting and chaos going on here. It's you getting through with
Aramis rolls for both of us.
yeah. I think that's just simplest.
Okay.
3.
3 blood and armor for the 2 of you.
Oof. That's rough. That's rough. Okay.
I'm up 7.
Oh, 7 and 4. Aramis first. Oh, you're both taking fallout. As you rush through here, you make it to where you had already previously set up. As coming out of the Jeffrey tubes, we see Sorden and Fanara with Geb and a limping Goliset leaning on Sorden. We see the Tsar over Aramit's shoulder as Gerald is directing. The 2 of you have a bit of cuts and bruises. As you get to this back access, you see there is a person in a guard's uniform, but you notice that there also is another person in a guard's uniform slumped unconscious against the wall next to the door, as the standing guard, who happens to be Thorza, says, "You've made quite a bit of noise. We should be going now," and points towards the kind of paddy wagon that is waiting there with 3 goats hooked up to the front of it. As you all pile in, she moves to the front and goes, "Yeah?" And the goats begin running off from the hive through the streets as behind you, the hive howls. Y'all have successfully done a jailbreak. Why don't we take a short break and come back and deal with what we've got from this? Let's all right, we're all back. And so with this chaos, as you head off, the goats running at top speed, clippity clop, and you're all in the back, but you have faith Thorza is going to get you somewhere. Aramis, it is a flash of chaos as you were carrying Vazar through the hive.
Mm-hmm.
The violence all around you. I mean, you've not had violence around you like that in some time. You've been living a peaceful life. But with all of that chaos and you trying to get out on the hunt for an exit, faces of these people around you, they all seem to blur until there's only one face, each of them the same face. A drow in fear, begging, "Please, no. Please, no." Who is he? What? He's familiar, but you can't quite remember. You feel guilt, but then you bust out the door. There's Thorza, your friends. as you pile in to the cart, that face sticks with you as I triggered your lost memories.
Yes.
So the cart does rush off, and Thorza, once getting it around a few spots, actually drives it into an alley, cuts the goats loose, opens up the back. Let's get the fuck out of here. And everyone stumbling, bloody, poor Geb there with you, down a path that Gerald has already set up. Vizar, you begin to regain consciousness, kind of jolted on a shoulder, but you can hear something in the back of your head. Not words so much as come back, a drawing you back. Love that you wish, that wishes you back, wishes you to be a part of it all. You're muted, love.
I know. I feel muted. That's the thing, right?
Your fallout is haunted.
Oh, okay. I'm haunted by the hive.
You are haunted by the hive.
I mean, not cool.
Gerald, as you were rushing,
go ahead. Give me one question. Do I recover stress from my refresh thingy doing something reckless for the sake of a good story?
Yes, I'll give you a D3 on that. Gerald, as you were rushing out, I think that a flying, I'm going to say someone's baton came and hit you just right beside the eye, giving you the fallout of swollen eye. Until you get it fixed, you are -1 die for any observational skill roll. Aramis, I think you got cut pretty badly as you were running through, and I'm going to give you blood loss. You're going to be -1 die for anything requiring strenuous actions. And so as you are getting out and running away, you are feeling pushed and probably glad that Vizar is starting to regain consciousness.
Yeah. I'll stop when we have a chance and gently try to drop to a knee and ease Vizar to his feet. Vizar, can you move on your own power now, please?
Of course. Thank you for carrying me. Very comfortable shoulder, but I can walk myself.
Gerald quickly at least gives a shoulder to lean on.
It's also a very comfortable shoulder.
And gives her like a nod of gratitude to Aramis.
Jan, your camera's still acting up? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. I'm just keeping an eye on it.
Okay. Fanara, for the moment, I think that Goliset is going to count as a minor fallout. His knee injury, meaning he cannot give you any dice for helping, or anytime he's sent into a fight, he's automatically getting a 1 difficulty till he's fixed, but it's a minor. Where are we going, Gerald? Where's the plan? Where are we getting to?
I think I would like share like real sorry about this, and then like pull out the crowbar to open up like the manhole cover.
as all of you head into the sewers, it
Hmm.
doesn't smell as bad as what you've been dealing with.
I still re-up and offer the ointment.
Mm.
Oh, it's practically flowery. It's fine.
Though
I don't think I could vomit anymore if I tried.
yeah, I think it's at that point you're oh so empty and yet still close to going again. As y'all head down the sewers, down Spire, and closer to home, Geb is going to, I think, be near you, Fedara, and Aramit's, kind of both of you probably trailing at the back because of various reasons. As he says, I never spoke. They wanted me to give up who I knew. I didn't tell them.
So you've said.
You were sent. I can't thank you enough. You should have just killed me.
The ministry is at low enough strength as it is.
That's very true.
Even compromised leadership is better than no leadership at all, sometimes.
I will return, and my peers will decide my fate. I will accept that. But someone should know what I've learned.
Speak on.
The Steries, their shadow ministry. There is one on the council who they have turned. That is why I think when I go before them, well, I may not be believed. I may be judged to die.
What if you died here in the sewers? Theoretically.
Theoretically, I would float to the river and out beyond Spire, I imagine.
Which is quite convenient for many parties. And I'm not making direct eye contact as I say these things.
Yes, it might.
And you know, if someone was going to determine who on the council had been compromised, someone with the highest levels of knowledge of the ministry's operation would, to my mind, be the best candidate to discover it.
I think you may be right. I can tell you this. And he looks at the two of you. Whoever it is, they have been dealing with Halcyon steers. That is the money that has bribed them. I'm not sure which of the 7 it is. But whoever it is, Halcyon has paid for it.
Oh, interesting. I see that the little fuck-up's trying to move himself up a particular ladder. That's funny.
I theoretically, it is said that the spirits of the river occasionally will speak at the docks of the Kraken Bell. If you seek the voice of the dead, perhaps you'll find it there. And he kind of turns and moves off down a side sewer way. You all make it to somewhere safe. We don't have to go into particulars, but it is a safe house for you. Aramis might be interested in helping out your comrades at this point.
Yes, I think it is time for a bit of respite for everyone. So I will lead them
Be
in
appreciated.
the rite of respite, creating a place of stillness and healing.
And that recovers 3, is that right?
Yes.
And that could also be a minor fallout if you don't wish to take the stress.
3 stress from mind and blood or minor fallout. Mind or blood, sorry. Mind or blood. I think I will resolve my minor fallout.
Is nauseated minor?
It is?
Delete it.
Blood loss also minor?
Yes.
I mean, short of bread is also, but my blood stress is so fucking high. I really need to start working on that.
I think I'm gonna get rid of shaken. My mind stress is still quite okay.
I will say, if y'all wish to take a rest here, you can clear all your stress. But of course, my machinations will take a step forward. But it's up to you. You could take a couple of days to recover, get rid of all of your lights, get rid of all your stress.
I think as soon as Aramis's ritual is done, Sorting gets up and he goes like, well, I will leave you to take care of all of this. I have matters to get back to.
Ooh. And so you
I
head out.
recognize the importance of what we have just done, but I have more important things to do.
I think I'll need to salvage my reputation and write a story. So no, I can't take days off. What's that concept anyway?
All right. Well, then
I can write letters while lying low.
very good. Aramis.
Take one last glance. I need to get back to my chapel. There's too much to do.
Gerald.
Gerald has to insinuate himself into the party scene, I think.
All right.
Amongst all the other rich fuckwads.
Then
And you're doing that without me, right? Damn you.
sounds like probably
was
setting
mentioning
up
it.
some groundwork, right? Though
Oh, yeah.
what Gerald's doing.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to set up groundwork.
I'm going to become known amongst, as a useless rich kid.
All right. I think then we see everyone sort of split back out. We will have a couple of days. I think, we have the czar working on what you're working on. Sword and I have a good idea of what you're working on.
I think Jordan is going to approach Funara during those days. Like,
Okay.
this is gonna be like, "Ah!"
What do you say?
And go on.
I am stuck.
Do tell. And I gesture for tea from some attendant
Of
who's
course, ma'am.
available.
I need to go deep. There was a man with a bell that got me deep, but not deep enough. I need to go deeper.
Do I know enough about Sorden's quest to assume that he means in the river?
I think so. I think after the Zordon died moment there,
Yeah.
it
yeah,
got a little
Understand.
around.
Yeah.
Like there's like he's right back to his fanaticism. Like
Makes sense.
All right. Well, a bell. That would be, I mean, at its most simplest, it's simply, and I, take an empty teacup and turn it upside down and say like this, but dipped into the water.
yeah, and then tubes or something like that.
Oh yeah, yes, the delivering air. But the pressures inside the river can overwhelm said tubes.
Yeah, it was a problem going further than what was it, 100? I don't remember the numbers.
100 meters or so?
Something like that. I jumped out. I don't remember the exact numbers.
I mean, beyond a certain range doesn't matter to me since I'm not an expert diver, but suffice.
Oh, and giant eel. That's another complication.
How giant? Like head this big around, head this big around.
Big enough to eat a bell.
Okay. It's quite disturbing.
It was.
I do happen to know some people who may be able to help you otherwise.
What will it cost?
What else did you see down there?
The lights.
I'm willing to do this simply to indulge a good friend. But I think that the religious significance of your task infuses it with value that makes it of a greater worth. However, I will extract from you a promise.
What's the promise?
I want you to hold your life more preciously than you did last time.
But I've been tasked
I understand that.
by the divinity.
Yes. And I understand that in fact, this might require some form of ultimate sacrifice to do so. But personally, I will miss my friend if you die. I will miss my friend with a true bitterness if you die unsuccessfully. And from an impersonal standpoint, I will be short one incredibly valuable asset should you die fruitlessly.
Right.
So, and somebody comes over and hands over this piece of paper on a tray. And Sorden, you can see that already there's a lot of text sort of printed on it in boilerplate form with a lot of empty space. And I start filling it out and writing very neatly on it. So I'm willing to source you with experts and fund your expedition. Let's work out these conditions of holding your life precious, because I understand that there are some qualities and contingencies upon which you're risking your life are reasonable.
Okay.
All right. So you should not step forward into your task unto the point of certain death and uncertain success. Agreed? Certain death and certain success, although I dislike it, is permissible.
Okay, that's acceptable, I think.
Very well. And I work out a contract.
Vanara, I'll let you roll a D3 as you have worked a deal for your benefit to remove stress. And I think we're going to see that meeting kind of draw to a close. As Aramis, you make your way back to the chapel, and as you show up there, you see 3 women in black, completely veiled outfits, speaking with Yvette. And as you approach, they turn to you and say in unison, "Father Aramis, how good to see you. We have come with an offer. The Queen of the Steres wished to give you our protection." And one of them holds up a badge. "Your congregation should begin wearing these." And we're going to cut from that scene to Vizar, busily working on putting together a story, fixing your reputation.
I mean, I don't know what happened there. Somebody hit me on the head, and then I was out there, and I don't know what happened. I got overwhelmed, but it was very exciting.
As you say that, you feel a presence in your mind go, "Of course, it wasn't your fault. Not your fault at all."
No.
And we're going to give you the weird condition is the condition you picked up, a moderate,
Oh, okay.
as you now have the hive boosting you up, adding to your confidence in your head.
Okay. That is, yeah, okay. I like that. So I'm not haunted by the hive. I'm weird.
Yeah, I think
That's
that,
fine.
well, that's the effect that it's
Okay.
going to have, is it's going to be encouraging you.
Like I need that.
Mm-hmm. And as you receive this bit, almost maternal sort of, encouragement, you hear your landlady downstairs go, "Oh, this is your new apartment has a landlady." Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Says, "Sir, I don't know what you want." "I've come to see me son, I tells ya."
Oh, fuck no.
And we shift to Gerald in a high society salon. People are enjoying drinks and talking about lovely little things. And, oh, I tell you, trade has been just terrible here of late. And, oh, I can hardly get the silks I desire. And as you're standing there, someone comes walking in. I think you've recognized them, certainly by reputation. It is a drow. He is short. He is stout. He is hideously ugly. He comes in a kind of dirty finery, like there's stains on the front of his extremely expensive clothing. As he says, "Oh, I thought I'd find better company. I hope the food's good." He kind of looks up at you. "You're new. Nice to meet you. Montague Valois. Don't believe what they tell you. I'm far worse." And he
Definitely,
sticks out a
yeah.
grubby hand.
Gerald reached out a hand with a quite limp, kind of just like handing him a fish.
And he takes it as he smiles, a greasy smile. But you can take that we're shifting the scene. But you have met Montague Valois, one of the high nobles of the Drow, and one of the few who is in line to be on the council now that Faye is being pushed out. And Sorden, I think we see... Ooh, your camera went on us. I think we see a moment of you looking across, standing on the docks. Damn. Looking across at the river. And as you are looking, Thorza comes up behind you, kind of quietly, and you see an enormous hump crest the water and then sink back down underneath, glittering, shining in the light. But you know it's down there. As Thorza comes up and puts her hand on your shoulder and sort of sighs, knowing that there's nothing she could say that will prevent you from going back down. And we're going to end with a messenger arriving at Fedara's establishment. Has the look of the road on them. A drow, battered leathers, comes up looking for Mistress Fenara.
You're speaking to her.
Message for you from Yiz.
Ah, at last. Thank you. And I offer him his kindly tip.
Thank you.
It's about twice usual.
He looks appreciate it, ma'am. And he heads out. As we see kind of over shoulder shot of Fenara opening up the message. I have laid no claim to it in some years, but the price would be high for me to even acknowledge it exists. I am willing to meet you. Tell me where.
Hold on that for a few beats, roll it up, put it back in the tube.
And that is where we're going to end our session. Well, everyone receives a moderate or medium advance, as you have saved the ministry he would have broken given time. And you've gained some information. We've got some stuff going on. Things are afoot. I think feel like we've kind of got some stuff in play that are going to be neat. Next time, I think what I was saying we were going to do is we're going to pull up and do some like broad strokes stuff you're doing to affect the political situation. So we won't be having a mission per se. It's going to, and it, not even just the political, it's going to be broad stroke things you're trying to do. Because I know, Zord, you're very focused on something. But this is gonna be that chance for us to kind of scoot through things and kind of set the scenes up and all of that. Because we have a lot on the table. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. If we've got a few minutes, looks like we got about 10. Why don't we do a little around the horn? Though, Rich, would you be kind enough to pause us for just a moment? All righty then. Why don't we do a little stars and wishes? So let's start with some stars. I'll continue with where I started before. Aramitz, Rich, any stars?
Stars to Fanara's ultra confidence and a star to putting Gulaset in danger and seeing how, like, oh no, that is too precious. That was really nice. Like, I enjoyed that. Flip the switch of putting a particular asset in danger. And last star, I'm being greedy in 3, and I'm all focused on Fanara, it seems. But Fanara and Sorden, that conversation at the end, that was the highlight of the entire session for me. So much so that I like Jan's camera. I don't even need it. I'm joking. It's good. Those are my stars.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Jen, stars?
It was delightful to once again see Vizar throw himself giddily into the wood chipper. I can't even say for the sake of the mission, but
It was beneficial to the mission.
it was highly beneficial. It was, in fact, crucial involvement, but definitely one of my favorite things in fiction, where it's like, well, why do you guys bring along this jackass? And it's like, this jackass creates the exact beautiful chaos that we require. So I love seeing it. Yep. Sorden, I loved just the pure fanaticism of that final conversation. It was real strong character moments. Quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed the guard pileup in the Panopticon room. Just classic stealth game stuff. Hey, why are there 4 bodies on the floor? Grr! Just my favorite. It could only have been better if somebody was like, oh, hey, look, a rice bowl on the floor.
Thank you very much. Hey, does this smell like chloroform? Next up, Sabine, any stars?
Oh, lots of stars. This was a lot of fun. It was a lot of action. I really enjoyed seeing Fanara and Sorden. That little scene they had in the sewers when Sorden was like, yeah, okay. And Fanara was, no, I'm trying to get your opinion on this. I'm not trying to patronize you. And he was like, yes, my opinion is very important. I really loved that exchange. And I loved Aramitz taking an interest in this terrible guard guy. Like, he just can't help being nice to people. And Gerald is just the best when he's confident and commanding. Yeah, that's just, I really enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed getting into the hive and having that hive in my mind now. I think that's not a bad trade-off. All things considered, it must know stuff.
And you just need someone to encourage you to do more reckless things.
But I have a little Gerald in my head who already does that.
Next up, Jan, any stars?
I was very much in love with Gerald going like, I don't like your tone when one of the guards speaking back to him. It was like I was really going like, I don't think I would have even caught on to that at that point. I was just like, oh right, yeah, there was a tone there. I really loved the fact that the hive was showing off for Bazaar. Like that was just funny. Like also Aramid's going like yeah, that the hive is controlling me. Oh, there goes my camera again, of course. Fusar telling the hive like, I'm the only one who really wants to talk to you here. Come on, my hive. That was really cute. And I was like, I really loved Fonar's contract for Sordin. Like that was a good addition to rein him in a bit.
I'm using buy anything for this.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, it was like, yeah, I'll get back to it.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. And Alex, stars?
I mean, I really enjoyed just the slapstick hijinks of Aramis and Gerald. Like, okay, we're stuck in this room. We're going to make this work. And ditto to everything else everyone else has said. That's the last person. And though I'll add, I really liked some of the fallouts.
Cool. Thank you very, very much. And we'll start with you for wishes.
I want some more Aramit's time. I'll quote a bit more focus on him. I would mind a little bit of the masked god stuff creeping in.
Okay. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Jan, any wishes?
Well, I was definitely noticing a bit during this session where, like, and I also noticed a bit in the last session where I'm like, so my characters are being tossed by the gods to find this saint, and he couldn't make it the first time, and now we're going to do a prison break in between, and I was having a bit of trouble going like I didn't want to do too much drama about it because I didn't want to derail the session. But it was like I was definitely having some trouble balancing that for myself. But I was very happy that in the end we could because I was also going, I don't know how to actually advance this story anymore. And I was like, Fonara is the only one I can think of, so let's go for Fonara and just bring it right back in. But I was having some trouble during.
I hear you. I hear you. And I do want to make sure that has focus, or it's certainly that there's certainly a line for you to keep following, especially as we're drawing to a close. Sabine, wishes?
I think I'm quite happy where this is headed. I love that that Vizar's father is showing up. I was waiting to threaten him for a long time now, and yeah, I want to go into a high society thing, and I want to do this portions of a moth dance character that Vizar is occasionally acting as, and yeah, and see how Gerald's persona interacts with Vizar's alias. So that will be fun. I think I feel they will hate each other. but in a polite fashion.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Jen, wishes?
I'm very interested in seeing how Gerald's infiltration of the party scene continues to go. I feel like a lot of our upcoming sessions are going to have quite a lot to do with the political structure and machinations going on in the Spire. And we need to, I think, have a strong feel for the texture of that landscape as things go forward.
I hear you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I believe we end with you, Rich. Wishes.
The Vizar dealing with Trash Family. Wish to see that for sure, and more Zordon Quest. Those are the two things that most delight me for next session, and I'm quite interested in.
Cool. I'm gonna hit a couple of neat stars real quick for me to wrap up. Vanara, Jen gave me an amazing idea that I think is going to be super important as we come to a close, and I am all about it. So huge star to Jen, and to not be terribly precious, but we saw a bit of that start rolling out here in our little coda. All of you, fantastic. I thought everything was brilliant. And for my wishes, if we're doing this kind of broad stroke, I wouldn't mind maybe having Zordon have his broad strokes be dealing with the quest, and maybe bring it to a completion or bring it to its big tension point at the end of next session, so that maybe the session after that is the completion. Does that sound good to you, Jan?
Absolutely.
Because I want you to have it for the final sessions, because I think it's, seeing it is important. So yeah. And a big wish is that I can kind of make this overseed session go well. We may all have to work a little bit to just make stuff fit in and hit our points, and play a little with that, but I think we can do it, and I think it's going to be a big part of advancing the story. So thank you all for playing. I thought it was exciting and I enjoyed it, and I turn it back over to you, Rich.
Cool. Thank you, Tyler, for running such an excellent game. Thanks everyone for watching. With that, we'll bring it to a close and see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
See you. Bye.